Welcome back to Tarot 42. I'm going to go ahead and dive on in. This is going to be a general read. Please take what resonates, release what does not, and share it with someone if you think that they might need this message, if you've watched all the way through. And we'll go ahead and get started and see what we got. We have expectation, concern, great fortune, despair, and a wealthy man. On the bottom of the deck, we have a pathway. Expectations and concern over a great fortune, or perhaps there's going to be a wealthy man in despair over his great fortune. His or her, take whatever. However, this pathway is lit up in the back. So, to me, this doesn't seem like, there might be despair, but it might be ill-placed, right? Expectation, concern, and then there's great fortune in the middle, despair, wealthy man, pathway. Really, what this kind of says to me is maybe there is a concern and expectations over this that are causing unnecessary despair within a wealthy man's situation. But whatever this is leading to a better path anyways. So I think the concern is probably not necessary. Obviously, we should always be concerned and paying attention to our finances or things like that, and just making sure that the people around us are loyal people that we would trust. But in this case, I feel like there's maybe it's a situation in which someone's expecting something out of this wealthy man, and it's causing him despair to make a decision to choose a different path. And maybe it's because there's a new romantic cycle beginning. Maybe this wealthy man is not wanting to leave a situation because there's an obligation. There are a lot of people that, when you get married, you're married, right? And that's who you're supposed to be with for till death do us part. And that's okay. It is perfectly fine for people to believe in that kind of love and commitment. There's nothing wrong with that in the world. However, sometimes there are certain situations that no matter how loyal, faithful, obligated you are to a person, sometimes it's just time for it to be released and let go of, and to move on, because this bright light here through the trees, through this muddled, dark, I'm not saying that, being in a forest is great, but for the sake of this card, the imagery, it's a beautiful, it's walking out into something beautiful and bright and wonderful. So this could potentially be where, this wealthy man or woman could be headed. But if they're concerned about something that they may not even need to be concerned about, because a lot of times when a person is feeling that energy, their partner is likely feeling the same energy as well. Because anything we do in this world, especially with other people, there is an energy exchange, right? And in my opinion, when you're in a relationship, you're consistently exchanging energy, and when the energy is off, you feel it, right? And more than likely it's because both parties' energy has changed in some way. And maybe both people don't want to talk about it because they're not wanting to hurt the other person, or no, we have all of this stuff together, and I don't want to deal with, having to start over or whatever, or do this or do that or whatever. But to me, it seems like, excuse me, maybe there's something way better for all parties involved. I mean, because obviously if one person is not feeling it and the other person isn't feeling it, they both have other people they could go find that they'd probably be feeling it more with that person, if that makes sense. I don't know. New Moon in Leo, that was New Moon in Libra. New Moon in Leo says confidence is your key to success. So you do have to be confident, especially if you're walking away from a relationship. Especially a long-term relationship where there's things have just kind of fizzled out, and even if you've made that effort to like try and like rekindle it, and and maybe it worked a time or two, or it felt better for a minute and then it just kind of went back, it's like sometimes it's okay to just let go, but you do have to be courageous in order to do something like that for a lot of people. Some people can just, okay, it's time to go now. Like, it happens, right? There's 3 cards here to okay. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal Moon. Prosperity lies ahead. New Moon in Taurus. And walk through your fears. New Moon in Scorpio. Haha. That's interesting. The cards that did fall out. I know I'm crooked, guys, but I was just too exhausted to make the extra effort for the pretty presentation. Sorry. Yeah. Confidence, new romantic side. Be bold, make the first move. Prosperity lies ahead. Work through your first. Like, I think this is going to be best for everybody involved, is what this is really saying to me. I think it's going to be best for everybody involved if these people, whomever they are, sit down and have that conversation, that tough discussion, and go their own way. Because I think they're both going to be okay. Prosperity lies ahead. There's great fortune. Like, either way, no matter how they go, they're going to be okay separate from each other, even if they have things together, right? Let's healing the heart, power of self-love. Couldn't be better than that. Sacred purpose, eternal flame, ancestral legacy. What are messages for a collective? Clarity, planning, releasing illusion. And really, when you're in a relationship that's just kind of fizzled out and it's done and it's time to go, it is an illusion at that point, isn't it? Really? It's time to go. Whoever this is for. And that's it's a bittersweet, heartbreaking thing. To let go of somebody because you are comfortable with that person. That's been your person for, however long. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. It could be 20, 30. But sometimes it has to happen so that, you spent the time you were supposed to with that person, but there's something else out there that's going to help you grow more. And when it's stagnant, you can't. It's hard to grow. Now, I know that it's not like dependent upon another person. Our growth isn't dependent upon another person solely. I mean, it takes yourself ultimately, right? But there's a whole world full of people that you're going to interact with X amount of people in this lifetime. And so maybe it's just time to let go and move on to where, you know, things that are missing in your life, maybe this new person is going to bring that clarity, and you're going to be able to move more towards another, you know, your ultimate purpose, your sacred purpose of being here. And that new person is going to help open that. Not saying that that person that you've been with couldn't, but that wasn't what their mission was. Their mission was to serve whatever purpose you had with them. You know, perhaps it was to bring souls onto this planet with children, to adopt a pet that has somehow changed your life, or start a business or a venture, or whatever it is. That person played that role and supported you through that, and you supported them through their whatever it is, and that role is over. And I think we get caught up in that. I have to do this, I have to do that, because that's what the rules say. That's what my foundational beliefs say. Like, yes, a foundation is very important to kind of establish, so there's some sort of order in the chaos. You know, chaos is not always bad. Well, it's not bad at all, I guess. I shouldn't say that, but there's an ebb and a flow in life. It's like music. It's either going to work or it ain't. You know? There is a reason why certain music will elicit an emotion and a feeling, and it's not heavy, it's light, right? The heavy stuff, and by heavy I mean, you know, now I'm going more towards, like, you know, like when you start listening to heavy metal and stuff, I'm not saying you can't, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, I'm not saying anything like that, but it does carry a lower vibration to it. It just does. It's got, there's just something completely different about it, and it makes you feel lower vibrational things. Now, there are some that it is a, you know, like, no, you don't have to listen to me at all about this stuff. I'm just saying how kind of I feel about it, and it might resonate with somebody and make sense in that way. But like, there are some bands, like, I'm kind of scared. Remember the whole Napster incident? Metallica has, you know, a plethora of music, right? And I love all their music. But there's this one song, is it Hero of the Day? It just, the way it opens up, it's so much, it has a higher vibe to it. I don't know how to explain it, but if you listen to Inner Sandman, it's got a whole different vibrational quality to it than Hero of the Day, or whatever the freaking song's title is. I'm bad with name titles for music, but I can tell you when the drum beats hit and the guitar start and the lyrics. But fuck all if I can tell you what the title of the song is, but I'm pretty sure it's Hero of the Day. It might just be Hero. But the way that song starts out and the way that Inner Sandman starts out are two totally different vibrational. They're both great songs. I love Inner Sandman, but it's the best, probably well-known two songs that I could probably throw out there that people would easily be able to compare and be like, oh yeah, no, I get it. So like, similar to that, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Similar to that, right? This person's vibration doesn't mean that they're a bad vibration or a negative vibration. It's just now it has a different place for this person, and this person's has a different place for this person, and they're not on the same wavelength. They're not on the same sign, I don't know, whatever, S-I-N-E. It's not, they're not matched up. They're not aligned anymore, right? So one person's might have went up to here, and the other person's went up to here, but either way, they're not in alignment, right? And everything is vibration. So for this reading, we're getting a little long, I'm sorry. I feel like it's time to release each other so that you both can go on the path towards your sacred purpose, towards your ultimate, you know. I feel like this is going to be for older people. Middle-aged. I don't feel like this is a young couple, if that makes sense. A young couple should still be in the, you know, pretty much in the throes of their, if they chose each other and it was healthy and all that is what I mean by that. But this is almost like somebody that's been together for a long time, and things are just, it's just what it is. And it's like, I think they're both feeling like there could be more. And there is. According to this, there is more for both of you. And neither one, I don't think, yes, there's always going to be that heartbreak of, oh, this has been my person for this long, and now it's going to not be my person. But when you realize that there's this other thing out there for you, or this other person out there for you, and it's helping you grow, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with remaining friends after. And that's why I say, like, it's so important to sit down and have a conversation so that no one is, you know, in despair or concerned about what the other person is thinking, because you're both thinking the same thing, essentially. Like, okay, it's time, but I don't want them to be upset with me. So that's where I'm going to leave it, I believe. Yeah, nothing else is calling out on my table of madness over here. I'm just going to show you real quick, if I can. On my table of madness, all this, I had to dig out, because I was going to do some readings on the road, but look, I traveled 3,300-ish miles, not one way, but like back and forth, and I did most of the driving the first day leaving out, and then the first day coming back, and so I'm just exhausted, and everything's a mess. I mean, the house was clean because I cleaned it before I left, but yeah. So that's what I got for you. I hope that you enjoyed, and if it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, share with someone if you think they need to hear this message. And yeah, good luck to you, and it'll be okay. It'll be all right. All right. Thank you. Love y'all. Bye.